spot in the final CFL Scouting Bureau of 2023. Wide receiver takes first place ahead of the CFL Draft on May 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern on TSN and RDS. Also, we will be doing a live stream, of course, for the draft this year on this channel. So you'll be hanging out with us May 3rd. The Canadian Football League has published the third and final edition of the top 20 prospects eligible for the 2022 CFL Draft on May 3rd. The first two rounds, including commentary and in-depth analysis, will be broadcast beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on TSN and RDS, Canadians' home for the CFL. The RDS Draft Show will also include a preview of the upcoming season. Exclusive coverage of the rounds 3 to 8 can be seen live on tsn.ca and the TSN app. Unfortunately, we can't see it here in the United States, but we will definitely be following everything on social media. The CFL Scouting Bureau, comprised of player personnel directors and general managers from the league's 9 clubs, as well as CFL Scouts, released its prospect ranking in the fall, the winter, and spring editions. The Spring Scouting Bureau edition is as follows. So John Metchie, University of Alabama, clearly he is not going to be playing in the CFL at all. He is looking like a first round, second round pick in the NFL draft. And I've said this all along, I don't understand why you would take a wide receiver in the first round of any draft. He is the number 1 spot. Number 2, down from 1, is Jesse Luchetta, linebacker, Penn State. Tyrell Richards, linebacker, Syracuse. Heard a lot of his name out there. Trey Ford, quarterback, University of Waterloo. Another guy, lots of interest in the NFL draft for him, perhaps. We'll see what happens there. Jason Philpot, wide receiver, and Tyson Philpot, both from University of Calgary, is in there in the top 5 and 6. Deontay Knight, a defensive lineman, Western University. Enoch Maconzo, DB from Coastal Carolina University. Tyrell Ford, a DB, University of Waterloo. Zozier, offensive lineman. Again, I'm in the first round in the draft taking offensive lineman. He's at 10. There's your top 10. Samuel Elmas, Daniel Mbabwe, running back from Bryant University. Raheem Brown, offensive lineman. Zach Fry, offensive lineman. Zach Pillows, offensive lineman. Peter Kazakcha, offensive line. Anthony Ferdicchio, defensive line. Cyril Hogan Sandion, offensive line. Greg McKellar, offensive line. And Nathan Cherry, defensive line. So we have a lot of offensive linemen in there. I expect that to be something that any team should just take in the first round. I don't get it. The spring ranking includes 7 offensive linemen, 4 wide receivers, 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 DBs, 1 QB, and 1 running back. So the flashy positions, we only got 1 running back, 1 quarterback. The quarterback, of course, we've all heard, Trey Ford. And then the running back is Daniel Mbabwe. I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to butcher it. 14 schools are represented in the rankings, with 5 schools featuring multiple players. University of Waterloo with Trey and Tyrell Ford. Calgary with Jalen and Tyson Philpot. Western University with Deontay Knight and Zach Fry. Saskatchewan has got Noah Zier and Nathan Cherry. And then the University of Alberta, Raheem Brown and Pete Kozlowska. 14 prospects are from U Sports. 6 are from the NCAA. 7 players are making their CFL Scouting Bureau debuts in these rankings. In 2021, 18 of the 20 prospects identified in the spring ranking were selected in the CFL Draft. So here you go. You know that these guys are going to get drafted. I would say 19 of the 20 prospects identified will be selected. I don't know if anybody will take John Metchie, but maybe you want to take him at the end of the draft, just for the heck of it. We'll see. Of the 9 first-round selections in the 2021 CFL Draft, 5 appeared in the spring ranking. So, of course, we all know about John Metchie. It's in his final season at Tuscaloosa, University of Alabama. Metchie recorded a team-high 96 receptions for 1,142 yards and 8 touchdowns. The 96 were the 3rd most in Crimson Tide single-season history, propelling Metchie to the storied program's 13th 1,000 receiving yard season. He finished his collegiate career with 155 catches, 2,081 yards, and 14 majors. In 2020, Metchie won the CFP National Championship and claimed the John Cornish Trophy as top Canadian in the NCAA. He's looking to become the award's second back-to-back winner. I believe he did win that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat room. I think that came out recently. Jesse Luchetta, linebacker from Penn State, amassed 143 tackles, 81 solo, 62 assisted, 7 tackles for a loss, and an interception return for a touchdown in his collegiate career. In his final season, he tallied 53 tackles, 30 solo, 23 assisted, 4 tackles for a loss, and an interception. His 9 tackles in Penn State's victory in the Outback Bowl, get your bloomin' onion, baby, earned him invitations to the Reese Senior Bowl and the NFL Combine. He's a guy maybe might get picked, but we will have to find out. Tyrell Richards, linebacker, Syracuse. A lot of people have been talking about him as maybe being the top pick after sitting out the 2021 season. Richard impressed at the 2022 CFL Combine, showcases athleticism, versatility, and participated in the drills as a linebacker, defensive lineman, and DB, becoming the only player in Combine history to manage that feat. Richards played 3 seasons for the Orange, collected 54 tackles and 9.5 tackles for a loss, 6 sacks across 31 games. Trey Ford, another guy, we'll see what happens with him. This past season, Ford passed for 1,465 yards and added 629 on the ground in 6 games en route to claiming the Heck Crichton Trophy. Ford finished his collegiate career with 71 touchdowns, 56 passing, 15 rushing, while notching more than 7,000 passing yards at the CFL Combine. Ford led all prospects with a time of 6.85 seconds in the 3-cone drill and clocked 4.45 second in the 40-yard dash at the University of Buffalo's Pro Day. And then finally, number 5, Jalen Philpot, wide receiver, University of Calgary. Philpot amassed 113 receptions for 1,889 yards and 10 touchdowns in his 3 seasons with the Dinos. In only 6 games in 2021, he recorded 46 receptions, 799 yards. Oh, just 1 yard short. 4 touchdowns, earning him second career nod as a U Sports first team All-Canadian. There you have it. The draft is coming. We're getting all the draft lists. Who do you think has got that top spot? Realistically, will get picked in the CFL draft. We're just going to have to find out in the beginning of May, my friends.